Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Vocal Arts, wherever you are watching or listening from. I am here with the lovely Rachel Hardy, and I'm going to pass the baton to her and let her give you guys a little intro as to who she is and what she's up to these days. Rachel, please.
Okay, well, my name is Rachel. I'm a vocalist and composer. I'm mainly working in video games these days. And I also post covers on YouTube every once in a while. Been doing that for, I think, 12 years now. So kind of just a lot of music all over the place. That's the condensed version
Perfect.
of who I am.
Where did it all start for you? What's your background in music?
I took music lessons like when I was really young, but I didn't really think a lot about music or like pursuing music, I guess, until later in high school, or I'd say probably high school. I went to like a school that had a pretty good music program. So it was kind of like the cool thing to be in the music, which is strange. You don't usually think of music being like cool, but everyone was in the music program stuff at this school. And I went there from middle school to high school. So I kind of started getting into, choir and jazz band and all that kind of vocal jazz, that kind of stuff in school, and started getting really into it. And towards the end of high school, I was kind of like, yeah, I want to do this music thing. Like, I want to go for this music thing. And I was just getting into composition at that time, but I wasn't really aware of like what jobs were out there, I guess. I just knew I wanted to do something music related. So originally I was thinking like teaching music. That was kind of where I was thinking I would head. But
Were you a theater kid in high school?
I wasn't really, but I did do some theater and I really enjoyed it. I have really bad stage fright, so that was another thing. I knew I didn't really want to be a performer because I do have really bad stage fright, and you can probably even tell just talking. I'm not the best at like presenting. So yeah, I kind of knew I wanted to do that, but so in college, I did the first year's kind of like a general music, and then you kind of have to decide if you're going to go teaching or if you're going to do like performance or composition. So I decided to go to the composition route in the end. And then in high school around that time as well, I started my YouTube channel actually because I failed an audition to get into the vocal jazz group in grade 11 or 10 or 11, I think. And I really liked to sing, so I was like really bummed out about that. So I just kind of like did my own thing, and I was like, I'll just make some covers and have fun with it. And that ended up kind of popping off. So that was lucky, because as I was kind of pursuing a music career, I had this YouTube thing, which wasn't bringing in like a ton of money, but it was something, which kind of helped me spend more time doing music and learn how to make music. Because doing covers, you're kind of copying how to make a song from scratch. So I learned a lot through that.
Yeah, wow. So you've been in the YouTube game a very long time.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been crazy to like watch it change over time, because I kind of got into it back in the like when Peter Hollins and like Taylor Davis, like they were like peak, so it was a really like awesome time to get into YouTube music stuff because it was so creative and so collaborative at that time. It still is, but now it's a lot more like saturated, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. So you actually got to study music in college and study composition in college. What was that like, and how did you traverse the gap between doing it in formal studies and then getting into the real world?
In college, I honestly I've heard a lot of mixed takes on this. If I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't have done university, but I think a lot of that is because like the university I went to didn't really have a program that went into the things that I wanted to get into. Like, I wanted to get into media composition and games, which is what I do now, which is very technically heavy. Like, you need to know how to use all the software and stuff like that. I didn't learn any of that in university.
Yeah, of course.
It's very classical, which I think is great if you're going into something that requires, a lot of that classical training. But for myself, I didn't find it super helpful. I think like obviously the theory and stuff is really handy, but there were a lot of classes that I just didn't really get anything out of.
Yeah.
My composition classes were very heavy on like atonal writing and stuff like that, which again is very fun to explore, but like
not a fan.
Have I used it since? No. So yeah.
No, I feel you. I think if you're going to be going into classical music like I did for opera, you have to get a formal education, a lot of years, even well beyond undergrad. I mean, I technically just finished my training. I've been in opera for 13 years.
Wow, yeah.
It's like becoming a surgeon. But for so many things, if you want to be a songwriter or a producer, even, I remember when I was leaving undergrad, my advisor, I was asking him, should I go to masters for music production or for classical voice? And he was like, well, you really don't need to go for music production. It's like you shouldn't pay $100,000 to go learn how to use Logic. It's like you just figure it out.
It's all trial and error, basically.
Trial and error and YouTube University, and like you don't need anything super formal. But classical is a different beast, for sure. Yeah,
and you can't really teach yourself that one.
No, you just can't. You need really advanced advisors who've been working. Hopefully they've been working in the field at a high level, although there are plenty of hacks teaching things they shouldn't in university setting as well.
It's tricky because I have a lot of younger people ask me like, should I go to university or not? And it's hard because music is such a broad there's so much that you can do in music, and a lot of people don't know, like myself, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'm working in games now. It wasn't even on my radar. Games was not something that I was working towards at all when I was in university. So it's one of those things that's really hard because it's just like, you could go in so many directions with music. Unless you really know exactly what you want to do, it's hard to know whether it's worth it or not. So I think like getting that vision earlier on is always recommended if you can.
Yeah, for sure.
Spend some time figuring that out. Yeah.
Yeah. So immediately post-college, what were you doing musically?
Immediately post-college. Oh, what was I doing? I don't even remember. I do remember that I was in my very last year of university, and there was I graduated in COVID, so 2020. And at that time, there was this like composition contest that was happening, and it was called the Spitfire Scoring. No, Westworld Scoring Competition. It was put on by HBO and Spitfire.
Ooh.
And I was like, I'm getting to the end of my school. Like, I might as well just enter this. So you basically just had to rescore a scene from Westworld and submit it. And so I did that. And they got, I think, like 11,000 entries, which for a composing competition is like pretty crazy. And somehow I ended up being one of the runners-up. I think they had like one winner. His name is David Cadell. He's awesome. And he's been killing it ever since. And then they had like 5 or 6, actually can't remember. I think 5 runners-up. And somehow I made it. And so that was like a really nice, very lucky little boost right at the end of my university, because when you're coming out of college and like trying to figure it out, and like you don't know how to get your work out there, how to get your name out there, it's like very intimidating. So I was really lucky to have that, because it was just it got my name out there a little bit, and I had people reaching out to me and kind of offering me work kind of right out of college because of that. So that was just like a crazy thing that happened. That was really lucky.
Yeah, I really didn't know you had this huge background in composition. I've always known you as a YouTuber, because that's how our circle started intertwining. Yeah. But that's awesome. Would you consider that to be your main thing that you focus on, is actually composing for video games?
I'd say like between composing and YouTube, I'd say it's about half and half these days. It's composing's super up and down. So sometimes I'm like really busy with like a lot of things, and then sometimes there's just no work, You probably know how it goes. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd how'd you start collaborating with Column?
Oh, you know what? I think I I think I came across him when he was kind of new to the game, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
not to brag, but like, I can't remember exactly when, but I think he was kind of blowing up on TikTok. So I guess he wasn't new, new to the game because
He had just started singing, maybe.
yeah, he was like kill it right because he has been on YouTube for quite a while, I think. But yeah, he was blowing up on TikTok. And I think he came over to YouTube and I was like, we need to work together. I don't know. I can't remember like why or how this came about, but we just, did a couple things together and it was a lot of fun. And now he's far surpassed me in views and subscribers and everything. So it's great to see him,
Well,
popping off.
I mean, he's a machine. He
Yeah,
puts out a
right.
song like a week.
Yeah,
Like every
I'm
week he has
jealous.
a new song. I'm like, I don't know how he and Jonathan Young are just like
Yeah,
just dumping out music all the time.
powerhouses. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. So, I mean, you've done a bunch of projects with him at this point, right? Though, I mean, you guys did a bunch of
Yeah.
like sea shanty stuff early on, and
Mhm.
I know he was on one of your Warframe covers as well.
Yeah. Mhm.
Just,
Yeah, we've done a bunch of stuff together. There's this it's one of my favorite covers I've done. It's Jolly Sailor Bold.
hmm
And we put some little Pirates of the Caribbean little references in there. And I love this cover, but I have this deep regret of like for some reason I mixed his vocals kind of low. And I didn't notice it when I released it, but someone in the comments was like, why is he mixed so low? Like, what is that about? And every time I listen to it now, I'm like, they're so right. Like, I think when I mixed it, I mixed him really like far to the sides. So it's not that he's quiet, it's just that he's mixed really stereo. But the thing is, like, in the grand mix, that kind of makes him sound quieter.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I've done the exact same thing recently. I put out a cover, and of course, I was mixing on stereo headphones, and
Mm.
I was singing with this woman named Tegan, and we're both singing the lead an octave apart, so it
Oh,
went pretty
okay.
low, like down into the bass range on the bottom. But I had me split and panned left right, like doubled and left right, and her right in the middle. And so in the stereo headphones, it was like a really nice balance.
Mm.
But then I remember when I released it, it was like, oh, I just kind of wish like your vocals were a little louder. I was like, what? They were like super present and I just I guess I didn't reference enough sound systems. Like I didn't listen on
Yeah.
like the Apple AirPods or in my car which has a kind of a shit system. And it's just
Yeah.
like it's kind of funny. You have to almost like maybe downgrade the balance that you hear in like really good
Mhm.
headphones to please what most people are going to actually be hearing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with this cover as well. It just sucks when like it's one of my favorites, but it's like, oh, I wish I could go back and just change that real quick,
Yeah.
But now it's out there, so whatever
Could
happens.
remix, remaster it,
True.
put out a new version.
Yeah, honestly. I
What is your schedule actually for putting out YouTube covers?
um it used to be like one per month. So I don't do a whole lot, like compared to a lot of YouTubers who are doing one a week, one every 2 weeks at least. I'm usually just like once a month kind of person. Lately, it's been less. I've had like some health issues these past couple years, so my energy has just been really up and down. So now it's just kind
Mm,
of like whenever my energy is good enough to get something done, then I do it. But it's been kind of slipping a little bit.
yeah. And what's
Yeah.
your process for putting out a cover?
Process. I don't really have one. I've always been very relaxed on my YouTube stuff. Like I had a manager for a while and he was always like, what's cool, what's poppin', like let's target those things. We gotta like maximize views and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, but I don't like that song right now. Like I want to do this song that came out 14 years ago. And he's like, well,
Yeah.
so I don't really have like a strategy or like a process or anything. I mean, I guess like I have a process. It's usually just like, what music am I into right now? Bonus points if it is cool at the moment, I
Mhm.
guess. And then, yeah, I just make it. So I do all the steps myself, usually, unless I'm collaborating with someone. So I'll make the backtrack and record all the vocals, do all the mixing, although I would love to offload mixing eventually. It's like one of my least favorite steps because I'm really indecisive.
Well, it's so hard. I think it's the hardest thing to do well, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole art on its
Yeah.
own, right? And like I don't feel like I have the knowledge. Like I can make it sound good enough to my ears, but it's such a dense thing. There's so much to know and so much
Yeah.
to learn, and I just don't think
When
it's in
when
my
Mako
wheelhouse.
when Mako told me he doesn't mix his songs for Arcane, I was like, okay,
Oh,
then why would I be mixing anything at this point?
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's true. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
if you spend all your time producing, then
hmm
you need to send the song to someone who spends all their time mixing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't be, I don't think you can be like a proper expert at both.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah,
can.
exactly.
Maybe if you're only doing those two things, but you know,
Yeah.
you kind of got to pick your lane.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I'm good enough at mixing for, for stuff like YouTube, and
Hmm.
it's usually good enough, but at the same time, like I feel like I'm never fully happy with it. There's always things where
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could make it sound more like beefy or like more
Yeah.
like wide, or like I just don't know how to do that. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, I feel like
but yeah,
there's always a little juice left that I can't quite get at, you
right.
know.
Yeah.
I listen to some mixes by like these world-class producers that produce all the stars, and you're just like, how do they do that with sound? Just like
Yeah.
it is knowledge I don't have,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
definitely. It's a whole art.
Yeah, for real. And what about composition? Well, just tell me, run me through like a composition project. Like maybe you get hired for a new video game, and like how does that go?
I mean, really it really depends on the project, I guess, but um I've found pretty much consistently on all the projects I've worked on for video games, it's quite a slog at the beginning. Um, just trying to get like the right sound and the right palette, I guess you would say. Um, and main theme is always a tricky one as well. It usually takes a
Mm,
really long time, not a long time, but like it usually takes them back and forth with like the developers or the team to get that down, because that's the biggest thing, right? How is it going
hmm
to sound? What's the sound going to be? What's the character of the music going to be? And does it match the gameplay and all of that? Once you get that, it's kind of like smooth sailing. Once you write the first like one or two, usually the main theme is the first one. To get that done, it's just everything else kind of falls into place a little more.
hmm
But I do tend to hit a lot of roadblocks, and I'm still learning how to like get through that creative block that I know everyone deals with sometimes.
hmm hmm
Um, that's always fun.
Yeah, do you start with like piano and figure out the chords first, or what?
Yeah, usually. Usually. I'm trying to get better at like forming a full idea before filling things in, because I get really easily distracted where like I'll write a little bit, I'm like, "Ooh, I like that." And I'm like, I'll just like slap some like strings in there, and then I get so like into this one chunk of idea, and then I'm like, "Okay, now I need to write more." But then I'm like,
Hmm
where am I gonna take that? And it gets harder to like,
hmm
I don't know if that makes sense. I tend to
hmm
write vertically and then I struggle to go horizontally. I need to
Yeah.
like learn how to do the full idea first and then fill everything in.
No, I totally feel you. I wrote this 30 song project over the last year about Achilles and the Trojan War, and it's kind of like
hmm
a concept album or a musical. We'll see where it ends up. But I
That's
remember
awesome.
what I found throughout that was there's this I don't know if you have session guitarist, acoustic strummer. It's just like a
Yeah.
really solid guitar plugin. So I just found that was like that ended up being what I used to find chords for pretty much
Nice.
everything, unless I was going to do a really complex chord where the guitar can't quite get all the crunchiness that
Yeah.
maybe a string section would, or even a piano would.
Yeah.
But for the most part, just because it made it so much more fun to sit there and play
Mm.
chords with like a cool guitar pattern than to just
Yeah.
like do block chords on the piano.
Yeah.
Um, it became a really fun, helpful thing because early on I was like, I wasn't really enjoying like just figuring out what chords I wanted to use, and that was like a big hack.
Yeah, that's true. I should really utilize more of those tools, because I know there's a lot of sample libraries that kind of have these tools to help you brainstorm
Hmm.
ideas. They're supposed to be like inspiring. Um,
Yes.
I do find a lot of those with like synth presets and stuff where like you open one up and sometimes they just spark ideas.
Hmm.
But that's kind of cool. That's a cool idea, like something that does some chord formation stuff.
Yeah, because I mean,
It's awesome.
if you play, you know, three chords and the truth on an acoustic guitar with like a really clean sound to it, you're like, this just sounds good already.
Hmm.
Like I already love this, you know,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, I don't know, your generic like piano plug-in. You're like, this is so
Yeah.
boring. But then you put it on a guitar with a nice pattern. It's like, oh, this is great.
Hmm.
Who do you take your biggest inspiration from as a composer?
Oh boy. Hmm. Hmm. That's actually hard. Like, that's such a common question that people ask each other in the
Hmm.
composing
Oh
community,
yeah.
but I still don't really have an answer. Biggest inspiration.
Or I mean, a handful. Who are some maybe people that have created soundscapes you like or scores
Yeah,
you've done that maybe not inspire you, but or influence you, perhaps?
I've always really liked Thomas Newman, which is a very like weird choice.
What is
Um,
Thomas composed?
some of the like old or not old, old-ish from my childhood Disney stuff. Like I think he
Oh,
did
like
Finding Nemo,
Toy Story? I
and
thought it was Randy
no, I
Newman.
think that
Different
was
Newman?
Randy. Yeah, Thomas Newman is a
Ah,
different Newman. He did like Finding Nemo was very inspiring for me, and then Wally. I'm like looking at his credits now. Um, but like the Finding Nemo sound, I've always really attached to. It's kind of like um kind of laid back and emotional, like emotive, but in a very like I don't even know how to describe. I don't even know. Anyway, Thomas Newman, Gareth Coker, I've always been very inspired by. He's a video game composer. He did Ori and The Blind Forest. It's one
mhm.
of my favorites and a bunch of cool stuff. Um, Austin Wintory, who I've had the pleasure of working with, which is pretty crazy because I've always really liked his music. But anything that's very like, I don't know. I've always been drawn to like interesting melodies and like things that make you feel things.
Mhm.
Drawing an emotion out of people, you
Sure,
know.
sure.
Um, yeah. I don't know, there's a bunch, but I can't think right now.
And as far as, I mean, what do you try to do with your chords, for example? I mean, just just to give you something to piggyback off of, like when I'm writing, usually I'll go through and I'll have the kind of standard chord progression, and then I'll
Hmm.
go in and add a bunch of suspensions and dissonant
Hmm.
moments and stuff like that, just to give it a lot
Yeah.
more color and texture. Do you have a process like that, or are you just like, are you
Honestly,
very
not.
very theory based, or
No, I'm actually the opposite. So again, this is another thing that I kind of like. I did the whole 4 year classical university training thing, but on a daily basis, I don't really use like my theory knowledge,
Mhm.
surprisingly. Um, I usually just kind of like mess around, like very improvisational.
Improvisational? Yeah.
Thank you. Where like I'll just kind of like play things on the keyboard and things will just come out, you know, and I'll be like, oh, I like that, and I'll just, you know,
Yeah.
or if whatever chords I'm playing are not doing it for me, just keep playing until I find them. Um, or like sometimes I'll find songs that I like and I'll like figure out what chords those are,
Hmm.
and then from there I'll like start improvising outwards
Hmm.
from that idea to find new like chord extensions. I've done that before, especially if I'm in like a creative block or something and the ideas just aren't coming out on their own. Like sometimes I'll do that.
Do you ever use guitar to, or do you play guitar? I see a couple back there.
I I don't really I wouldn't say I'm like a guitarist, but I can play basic guitar and I do enjoy having some instruments nearby because I
Hmm.
find they all bring out different ideas. You know, if I play the guitar versus my octave mandolin, like
Hmm.
just the way that the strings are tuned, kind of like bring out completely different ideas. So it's kind of fun to have different instruments in my space to
Yeah.
try out, see what happens.
What do you play? How many instruments do you play?
I play piano. Like I auditioned for university on piano. Other than that, I'd say I'm not great at a lot of things.
Yeah, okay. List all the instruments you're not great at.
It's the composer way, like just yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got back here, I've got octave mandolin and a bunch of ukuleles. Like that one's a baritone ukulele. There's a tenor guitar somewhere, it's up there. There's a guitar. I recently acquired a hurdy-gurdy, which I'm not very good at yet.
I've been watching your hurdy-gurdy journey.
I'm working on it.
Hurdy-gurdy journey. Wow.
Hurdy-gurdy journey. I played clarinet in school, and then I played bass clarinet, and then I played contrabass clarinet in college. But it's been so long since I've played that I don't think I can anymore, to be honest. Unfortunately.
It's a good number of instruments.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Do you ever track them for your pieces, your compositions?
Yeah, that's kind of like that. That's why I say I'm not very good at a lot of things. It's kind of the composer way. It's like, can I be good enough at this to get a good take? By doing like 20 takes and one of them might be passable. Like, it's that kind of thing where if you ask me to like perform a song, it's not going to happen. But, I can struggle through one good take.
I don't think I could do that with any. I'm like,
no, you could do it.
I've been practicing piano, but is it? I mean, I can lay down like a nice chord progression on piano. Like guitar, I can play guitar.
Oh, okay, nice.
But not good enough for a take. I just think it'd be so ugly and messy compared to a plug-in, or like whenever I need really good live guitar, I get my buddy George, who's been a professional guitar player in Nashville for like 15 years. Yeah. And I'm just like, I have no business tracking myself when I can have someone far better just come do it.
I don't know about you, but I get like crazy like recording anxiety, not when I'm singing, but with anything else. Like as soon as I hit record, I'm like, yeah. And it never turns out great. So yeah.
I'll say I track parts, but just like using the MIDI keyboard, like I had in this piece I was just mentioning a bit ago, I tracked a ton of parts for strings or choir or whatever by playing chords or playing parts, and that was really, really fun, and I really, really enjoyed that. But that's like as far as it goes. And none of that's super advanced. It's like a one section.
Right.
Slow moving things.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. I want to keep getting better at piano, and I would like to keep getting better at guitar as well. But like I'm kind of like a campfire guitarist right now, and that's
right. Well, that's
okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can play the basic chords. You can play most songs.
Yeah. It's hard. Like, sorry, go ahead.
If my buddies pull out guitars and we're hanging out or whatever, and like they'll like shout the chord like a halfway through the bar before they're like C, F, E, and I'm like okay, I can follow along to that. That's about it.
That's funny. Yeah, it's hard to learn a new instrument. It takes so much practice. It's hard to like motivate yourself to actually do the practice. I've been going through that with the hurdy-gurdy where every time I play it, I'm having such a good time. But then for some reason, it's like that initial making yourself sit down and do it is hard for some reason.
Yeah. I enjoy producing more than anything. So to take time away from that to practice piano for like an hour, it's like, I don't know. Yeah. I kind of just want to sit here and produce stuff.
Fair.
Oh well, that's kind of the way it is. What are some upcoming projects you've got that you're working on that you can reveal?
Ooh, a lot of NDA stuff.
I figured.
There's one that I will be as vague as possible here, but there's one I'm really excited about where it's a genre of music that is like the most unexpected genre for me. It's completely new to me. I don't even know why I got hired for this project, to be honest. But it's been so much fun to like explore a completely new genre, and I think I'll be working with a producer on it, thank goodness, because I don't know how to produce this kind of music properly. But at the same time, even for the demos that I've been making, I've been learning so much just about like the beginner production of it. Obviously, it doesn't sound great, but like I'm learning how to sidechain properly and do all these things. So that's been really fun. It's gonna be a while before that one comes out still, but anyway, that's something I've been working on a lot lately. Other than that, I don't know. It's just kind of like some new covers coming out soon. Same old. That's about it.
What covers? Do you know what covers you're doing? Can you tell us? Or
yeah, I've still got some more Arcane ones in the works. I feel bad because I've done so many Arcane covers, but like there's so much good music. Like
it's literally my favorite music ever.
I can't just leave those songs on the table and not do them. So yeah, I'm working on some of those. Yeah, the music for that show is outstanding. It's just like
it's so good.
One banger after another.
It is.
And the score too. The score is amazing. It's just ugh.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I was
just gonna say I want to do some Death Stranding as well, and like I don't know.
What's that?
Death Stranding. It's the second. It's a game. The second one just came out. Okay. I don't know. You probably know Woodkid from Arcane. Mm-hmm. He did a bunch of songs for the new Death Stranding, so there's some good stuff in there too. You should check it out. You'd probably like it.
He's such a cool artist.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say before I cut you off?
Yeah, I texted Mako the other day because I was watching. What was I watching?
I texted Mako. It was no big deal.
Yeah, I'm proud to be on an occasional texting basis. I don't bother him.
That's so cool.
I'm trying to remember what movie. Oh, I was watching V for Vendetta for the first time in like 20 years or something, and I was just listening to the score. And there were some like textures and chord progressions in that movie that the only other place I've heard them is in Arcane. And so I texted Alex and I was like, dude, did Alex Temple, because they're both named Alex, like was Alex Temple inspired by V for Vendetta? This random question. And he wasn't sure, but I thought it was really interesting that just at least the only other places I heard those textures and chord progressions was Arcane.
That's interesting. I'll have to. I'm honestly not familiar with that score. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Check it out. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. It was a great movie.
So you're saying if I like Arcane score, I'll probably like V for Vendetta.
Yeah,
I'll check it out then.
That's what I noticed. Yeah, some similarities for sure. Yeah, cool. Brilliant songs, brilliant score.
Yeah.
I think I've seen the show like 6 times.
Dude, same. It's so good. I there's so many good things about it, you know, the art and a lot of the writing. The characters I think are just so well done for the most part. Great show. I'm excited to see what they do next with the other shows that I think they're planning.
Yeah, surely they're going to keep the universe going. I mean,
yeah. It's
like
good stuff.
Arcane was such a success, and I assume they'll keep the Alexes working on it. I mean, they did. I can't imagine them having done a better job. Like it's just, the music's just like perfect for the show.
Oh yeah, they killed it. I remember when I watched it for the first time, like my friends were like, "Hey, I want to watch this League of Legends show," and I'm like, "No, I don't play League of Legends. Like, I'm good." Anyway, so I like very begrudgingly like watched it with them. And I was like half paying attention. And then the 3rd episode came around and I was like, what is this show? What is this? So then I had to go back and rewatch the first 3 episodes again and like catch up because I wasn't paying attention.
I will never forget watching the 3rd episode the first time. I was in my little studio apartment in Philly at the time in 2021, whenever the show came out.
Yeah.
And I just like couldn't breathe for like 20 minutes. Like that whole final sequence.
Wild.
I was like, I think the last time I felt like this watching a show was like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones.
True. Yeah, I guess it is kind of like similar. Like it's just shocking and like
shocking.
And it just rips your heart out and like stomps on it a few times.
Oh, yeah, hardcore. Episode 6, season 2 also did that to me. Just as bad, maybe worse.
See, episode 6. That's the What If They Done to Us, right? That's the cover I'm working on right now.
I think that's 5. Episode 6
maybe you're right.
Is when Isha sacrifices herself to blow up Banner spoilers.
You have to put a spoiler warning on the
spoiler warning.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
the song, Isha's song from the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah. At least by the second season, I was like, I knew that there were going to be moments like this because I was like, I know what they're capable of.
Yeah. That's true.
But
See,
yeah.
even so,
Rough.
absolutely brutal. Okay. I have I have a number of other questions for you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Pros and cons of being a YouTuber.
Ooh. Pros and cons. I have a lot of pros. Honestly, I've had a really good experience on YouTube. I've just had a great time. Like, it's been fun. I think the biggest pro, honestly, is collaborating with people, and I've had the pleasure of collaborating with you now. Although that one was a little more rushed than usual for some reason. I don't know why. It felt chaotic, but anyway, I love like meeting other artists through YouTube, and it does. I'd say like the cover music space, it feels very like welcoming, and everyone's super chill and super nice. And I've made a lot of really cool friends through that. So that's probably been like the biggest thing. And then the other big pro, I think for me is like, I've just learned so much about music production and mixing and side skills, video editing and all of this kind of stuff. It's like, I've been able to learn all these skills just from doing YouTube videos over the years. So that's been really cool. Cons, it's tricky to figure out how to make money. And it's also like, this is interesting because it like views and stuff that never used to like faze me because I always kind of did YouTube for fun more than like trying to do it for a job. But there was definitely a point where it kind of shifted into like, I'm trying to make this, pay some of my bills at least. And then once you try to make that shift, it does get a little more stressful of like, am I getting, or especially when you put a lot of work into something and then it just doesn't get a lot of views, it's kind of like, put all this time into it. And yeah, that kind of sucks, I guess. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I feel bad like complaining about it because it's been such like a blessing on my life. So I don't know.
How do you deal with copyright and
I was just about to say that's the other con. There's issues with that. With copyright, yeah, I have like there's a company that kind of takes care of that stuff for me. If I get claims and stuff, they'll reclaim it for me. But I've never liked the system. That seems kind of weird to me. Like the fact that this company is able to do that, but I can't for some reason. There's this like wall, and YouTube only lets certain people behind it, and then you have to hire those people to like take care of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what.
Are you able to get your covers clear typically?
Typically, I've definitely run into a few issues over the years, and then I've also had issues with. I had an issue once where do you know Maluka? She's the Dragonborn Comes. She did the original like Dragonborn Comes cover, which has like 80 million views or something crazy. She's amazing. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. She messaged me one day. She's like, "Hey, like my Dragonborn." I don't think it was her big 80 million view one. I think it was she did like a cover concert or something. She's like, my concert got claimed by you, and I was like, "Girl, what?" And so it was this whole thing, and I had to like I was very concerned because I was like, why is that happening? That first of all, I don't own the song.
Yeah, right.
Second of all, like she covered it first, so like why? Anyway, came to learn that like there's some companies now that are using other people's covers to identify other covers. And so they like claim it looks like it's through me, but if you like dig into the data, it's actually they just used my audio to like identify covers of their property. So I've had issues like that where people are like getting in touch with me saying like, you claimed me. And I'm like, it's not me. So it just seems like a very messy system. Honestly, there's like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on under the surface that I don't understand. I've been doing this 12 years. I still don't get it. The whole copyright system
Yeah.
on YouTube, I still don't really understand, but
What platform do you release your music through? Or what distribution
like for the
service?
copyright stuff?
Just like your covers, like how do you
Oh,
release
like
them?
on Spotify and stuff
Yeah, yeah,
like that.
yeah, right. Do you use like DistroKid or
I use one called Too Lost. I've been using them since they pretty much started. So they're a smaller one. But they've been pretty good for the most part. I've had not many issues with them, and yeah, they've been
do
okay.
you
But some of
do
the
they
other
give
ones
you
I've got beef with.
yeah, right. Do they give you do they give you a cover song license? I know
Yeah,
DistroKid does, which I've used to file a claim on YouTube and it's worked.
oh,
I don't
interesting.
know if
Oh,
it's
really?
I don't know if it's well, I don't know if it's because the claimants never saw my dispute or if it actually worked, you know.
Well, so when I say that, like I resolve the copyright claims through this company, they still do all the splitting of the revenue, behind the scenes. So I don't get 100%. They always split it with whatever the copyright holders rate is, whether that's 80/30, 50/50, 30/80,
Mhm.
they do all that for me. So it's not that I'm making like 100% on barely any, like maybe a small handful of my videos I actually still have. But where was I going with that? I
Um,
just don't know.
what did I even ask you?
I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah, I was saying I got through DistroKid you get a cover song license and then I
Right. Okay.
cited that in my dispute at some point. It worked.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, with Too Lost, you still have to buy the cover licenses. Although I think they changed the rules recently on covers. I think it's free now as long as you don't break the rules. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't want to spread misinformation on this. Yeah, there's like cover rules. Like you're not allowed to change the order of like the choruses and verses. You're not allowed to change lyrics and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
Which I find the rules a little bit too strict. Like you're not allowed to change chords and stuff, which is like, so if I'm covering a song, I just have to make it exactly the same. Apparently not. Again, I should fact check all this.
Oh my gosh, covers that don't change chords are boring.
Yeah, then it's just karaoke. Like, so I think they're maybe a little too strict, but
I've never had an issue with that. I've certainly absolutely obliterated chords in
yeah.
covers before. I feel like that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue either. But if it's against the rules, you never know.
Yeah. Have you thought about original songwriting? Surely you have at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, you already do
have.
it for scoring, so.
Right. Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. I've kind of sprinkled a couple of originals into my YouTube content over the years. It's never done bad. It's never done great. So, it's kind of one of those things where, again, when you're trying to make this kind of a part-time or full-time gig, you kind of have to listen to your audience a little bit. So I've been testing the waters, and I probably will continue to test the waters and see. But I would love to like write a full album at some point and just be like, I'm writing an album, like take it or leave it, Just haven't gotten around to it yet. It's so much work, right? I'm sure you know from that one you were telling me about.
Yeah. It took me like 1,500 hours or something to write it.
Crazy. Yeah.
It was I mean, I love it. I'm stoked. I'm finally starting to post about it and like build the platforms and all that stuff. How do you go about balancing what the audience wants versus what you want to do?
That's hard. I haven't really figured that one out yet. I mean, I think I'm a little lucky in that sense because I've kind of my niche is stuff that I'm interested in. When I first started doing covers, I was doing a lot more like pop songs and musical theater and stuff like that. But then the first cover of mine that blew up was from The Hobbit. And so then I was like, well, you know what? I love Lord of the Rings. So like I'll do more Lord of the Rings covers. And then those ones also did really well. So I was like, I guess I'm like a fantasy, like folk music girly now, which I'm actually totally fine with. And then over time, that kind of developed into, because I was already doing, music from fantasy movies and stuff like that, that kind of developed into just doing music from film, TV shows, games, kind of nerdy stuff. And I'm a huge nerd, so it just kind of works for me. Like, it's, for the most part, it's all stuff that I really enjoy doing. It's all music that I like. So yeah, but every once in a while I'll throw something in there that's kind of for me, it's just a song I like or something. And sometimes people don't like that and they voice their opinions, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They can deal with it.
I've enjoyed, because Colm and Jonathan, again, those two, the machines, they'll like both do stuff they want to do, and they'll just absolutely eat up trends.
Yeah.
Like Colm's done like 4 covers from K-pop Demon Hunters, and I like they're all great, and like he's just like, because he's like a master producer, but it's like there's so much work that goes into producing a good cover. I personally can't do that. I don't even do it for my analysis videos, really. If someone suggests a video that I have no interest in analyzing, I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. It's trying to find the balance of what I'm interested in and what the audience is interested in. But there is some push and pull, right? You've got to follow the numbers a little bit, especially like you said, if it's a stream of income,
Yeah, it is hard. And I think that's with following trends and stuff, that's where I really struggle, because if I'm just not into the song, I have a really hard time putting in, dozens of hours, making a cover of it. And so that's where I've kind of struggled. And when I had a manager and he was always like, we got to chase those trends and stuff, that's kind of where we disagreed a bit, because I just couldn't. I think I would have burnt out because I wouldn't be enjoying it as much. And I've always wanted to maintain the enjoyment that I get out of YouTube. So it is a tricky balance.
Yeah. It feels more authentic too.
Yeah, I think so.
To do what you care about most. And you'll make better covers doing that as well.
True. Yeah. And I have noticed, like, I think my audience does notice that, even though I'm probably not growing as much as I could be. I'm pretty sure my channel could be doing so much better, if I did do that more. But from the audience that I do have, like, I do think they see that. They can see that I really like these songs that I'm covering, and, they mean something to me, and it comes through in like the performance and everything. So give and take,
Yeah. I think it's
pros and cons.
It's a good long-term strategy too.
We'll see.
if you think about, I think authenticity is powerful nowadays. There's so much shit out there, and I think people are typically pretty good at reading it. And you come across an artist that's really authentic, I think that lands well for people. And also just the experience as the artist, like the closer your online persona can stay to who you actually are, you can have a lot more peace and balance in your life. I've certainly see it go both ways with a number of creators.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do like to believe that with all the AI stuff and just the oversaturation of content everywhere, I like to believe that like people will value authenticity more, just because there's so much of everything. It's like,
yeah,
I find it kind of tiring these days, like just consuming so much content. So hopefully people will start to value that more. And then again, with the AI stuff, I hope people will value just human creation more, and the passion behind the thing. It's not just a finished product. It's like, what went into that? Was it a prompt, or was it like, work and thought and intention? So I don't know. Hopefully, I would like to believe that that's the direction we're going in, but I guess we'll see.
I think there will be a very large premium on human-made things. The trouble is, like, Spotify's already put out like AI bans, and I think it's like,
right,
for someone to appreciate that it's a person, they have to know that it's a person, or to not appreciate it, they have to know that it's AI made. That's more the fear. Because, like, if you ask anyone in the arts, anyone consuming arts, it's like, would you rather have this piece of art made by AI or a person? They're going to pick the person every single time.
Right.
But if they're just like listening on Spotify and a song comes on by some AI band and it sounds good to them, they're not going to stop and question like, is this an AI band or is this a person? I need to not support this or whatever.
Yeah.
And for Spotify, it's like they just can put out these bands and then just more money gets funneled back to them for basically no cost.
It's an interesting topic because I think a lot of that is because of the way that algorithms have developed over the years too. Like if I think back to when I started on YouTube, you subscribed to people and the subscription actually meant something because then you get notified when they post videos, you know, like I was following Peter Hollins. I get notified every time he posts a video. So it was a lot more like you would follow an artist and keep up with like what they were doing. Whereas now it's like, I'll just watch whatever the algorithm feeds me. And you're right. It's impossible to tell when you're seeing so many different things from so many different sources. It's impossible to tell what was made by someone and what wasn't. It's like, you know, you can't go research every single thing that you consume.
Well, especially like passive listening too. Because like most people consume music pretty passively. As far as I can tell, like the average listener is not like, wow, that was a great dominant seventh chord that person just, you know, it's just like you're just while you're washing dishes or you're driving, you're just kind of listening to music. I think it's a big reason why, you know, a lot of mainstream music's not terribly complicated. It's just easy listening. It's just like nice, easy listening. So if you're just listening passively and something non-human made comes to yours, you're probably not going to notice. I mean, if it sounds, you know, even remotely similar. Right.
Yeah.
But also like, you know, people like that's fine that people consume music that way. You know, not everyone has to be like an intellectual music listener. Right. Anyway, we'll see. I do for sure think there'll be a premium on human made, but it's just a matter of, you know, if these platforms put systems in place to like let people know what they're engaging with. Right.
Totally.
At least on YouTube, you have to check the little box that says this is not AI.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
I don't know what good that does.
People ask me all the time if I'm AI, and I don't know why. I think like in a few videos I've put in blue contact lenses, and I think that's why, because they look a little too blue or something, you know? But people all the time in my comments are like, this person's not real. And I'm like, I am. She's AI. No.
Crazy. That's the crazy shit I'm talking about.
Maybe I have been AI all this time.
Maybe you actually are AI. Maybe I'm talking to an AI model. Maybe we're both
crazy.
AIs. We're both AIs in a matrix.
I was tired today, so I just put my AI on, and I'm actually over there
AI
just
Rachel.
chilling.
What are some hobbies of yours outside the music world?
That's also tricky because when you're into music, there's so much like bleed over. Like there's like fun music and then there's like work music, and it's really hard to like find that boundary. So I do more music for fun. I also make like chainmail sometimes, which is like the nerdiest hobby ever. I've actually been playing with this the entire time. This is like a chainmail cube that doesn't want to focus.
Oh, nice.
That I made. So I crochet. I'm a very crafty, creative person. So anything that's kind of, you know.
Do you make like full chainmail?
No, I haven't yet, but I'm working on my first chainmail shirt. So I'll let you know when it's done. Here's the thing. I have a hard time committing to projects. I have so many like crochet projects that are like sweaters or something that are half finished. I'm really bad about that, which is why I make so many like little trinkets and stuff, because I can commit to a trinket. But I am working on my first chainmail shirt. I've been working on it for like two years, but like I pull it out every 3 months. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like I'm working on it.
I imagine it's a lot of work to make a chainmail shirt.
It is. Like this cube alone, this is over 1,000 rings, which you wouldn't expect. And you have to put them one by one in there with pliers. So it takes some time.
With pliers. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So the shirt is a big project. I don't even know how many hours. I should have been timing it because it's a lot.
How many rings are there in the shirt?
I've I've gone through about 5,000 at this point, and I haven't even finished the front panel. It's probably another 2 or 3,000 to finish the front panel. Then I got to do another one for the back, and then I got to do the sleeves. So it'll be a lot.
Is that the only way to make chainmail? Just
I've
one
heard
by one with pliers?
I've seen people like 3D print chainmail already like linked, which is pretty cool. But I don't 3D print, so I
But
don't
what's
know.
the material for the 3D print?
I think it's usually like plastic, so it's not like real chainmail.
Not real
but
chainmail.
for like a costume or something, it'd be really cool. I mean, mine's not really real chainmail either because I use aluminum. So if you wore it into battle, it probably wouldn't be like super effective. But that's mostly because I don't want to wear like 50 pounds of metal personally. So aluminum sounds good. Like, 5 pounds sounds good.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think that would protect you very well.
No. But it looks really cool. And it is still metal. So you still get the like look and
Yeah.
feel of the chainmail.
That's awesome. I don't know anyone else that makes chainmail. So
Can I ask you what your hobbies are? I know this is like a interview, but I'm kind
yeah.
of curious.
Well, fitness is a big one because I was all sports before I kind of transitioned into music. And so gym, running, a little bit of swimming,
Nice.
Fitness, nutrition will always be a big part of my life. And other than that, it's reading. Usually during the day, I'm reading some kind of intellectual thing. I read every morning.
Nice.
And then at night, I always read fantasy before I go to bed.
That's cool.
And then I absolutely love shows and movies. So usually I'll work from early in the morning until about dinner time, and then dinner time till bedtime, I'll watch a movie or a couple episodes of a show. Peaky Blinders,
Nice.
Game of Thrones, Arcane,
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
good taste.
Yeah.
Those are all great shows.
I'd like to. I just I got a sponsorship from this company called Legendary Wall Art, and they let me
Ooh.
pick out up to a $400 wall panel. I have this huge Peaky Blinders wall panel.
Yo,
It's
that's
above
awesome.
above my couch downstairs.
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah, love
I
it.
actually haven't finished that show. I was so close. I think I have like a season left, but I need
It's
I
got-
need to rewatch it because it's been so long since
Yeah. It's got six seasons now.
Okay.
I mean, the first three are really like peak, absolute peak,
Mm.
peak Peaky Blinders, and then
Peaky Blinders.
4 is still great. 5 really takes like a directorial shift, just how they filmed it, kind of. Still good, and then 6 for me is kind of like just doesn't really feel as much like
That
where the
seems to
show
always be the way.
started. Like a few of the episodes are like yay, and a few are like, in my opinion, pretty disappointing. If you've been a long time Peaky Blinders fan, I guess they are coming out with a movie to
Oh, really?
to wrap
That's
it
cool.
up. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Cillian Murphy is like my
Cillian
God.
Murphy is
He's,
killing it.
Yeah, he is. He is. I think Tommy Shelby is like his defining. I mean, it is like his defining role as an actor.
Yeah,
Um,
so good.
incredible. Anyway, where can people keep up with you, Rachel? They want to see what you're doing.
Great question. I have all the social medias. I'm on YouTube, obviously. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, I guess X, whatever it's called
Twitter.
these days.
Mm.
I'm on Patreon, where I do like a hangout once a month where it's just like a general chatting hangout. And then we also do a music hangout once a month where we talk about just nerdy music production,
Oh, nice.
writing stuff. And we do a little showcase where people can show what they're working on and that kind
Cool.
of stuff. So Patreon's great if like anyone wants to get more involved, but otherwise I'm just kind of on the things, all the things.
Is it all Rachel Hardy music or Rachel Hardy or
It's all Rachel Hardy music except for Twitter because apparently that was too long. So on Twitter, I'm Rachel Hardy 306. I need to change my username to something that's a
Naturally.
little less like weird. But yeah, if
Okay.
you look up Rachel Hardy on Twitter, you should find me.
Find it.
Yeah, I think
Great.
that's about it.
All right, Rachel. Well, thanks so much for coming on and chatting. I'll keep you posted on the release date. Should be probably about a month from now or so.
Awesome. This
Great,
was a lot of
great to
fun.
finally meet you sort of face to face.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry I didn't plan something to meet everyone for the
Oh,
what was it even called? Foreign Armor?
Foreign Armor, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was stoked to be a part of it. I love that cover. It was really awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
All
be
right.
surprised if the Warframe people reach out again next year because it seems like they reach out to kind of the same. They seem to reach out to. Here's a little hack for you if you're ever interested in working with them yourself. They seem to work with people who have like done their music before.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if another one ever comes up, but
Well,
I don't know if you'd be interested in doing that again
if you
sometime.
need a bass, hit me up. Always.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun to work with you.
All right, Rachel. Great talking
Well,
to
thanks
you.
for the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll speak again soon. All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation with Rachel Hardy. It was so great to finally meet her face to face. If you enjoyed that one, I'm sure you will enjoy this one with our mutual friend and collaborator, Colin McGinnis, shot right here in this very room. Go check it out. Go check out Colin. You'll be very handsome. Go on.